So these mushrooms are going to turn into rings. How tiny are they? I have to saw them and shape them, patina them, polish them, solder them to the ring. But yeah, how cute, right? Hi guys. So I thought I'll just quickly do a video. I'm sewing some mushrooms that I want to make them into rings. So I have like a single mushroom and a double mushroom that I want to make into rings. And I thought I'll quickly get that on video. They're really tiny. So they've come back from the casting house. I'm sorry, I'm looking a little tired. I think my eyes are red. I've been working all day. So yeah, I have to saw them. Well, I actually already sawed them. I just have to shape them with the file. So I'm using the 2 number file. I don't know the names of these files, the needle files, like not all of them, but I'm going to show you how it looks. And then I will saw some of the raw castings I got from the casting house this week. So you can get to see me sewing those raw castings. Some of them are bronze and some of them are sterling silver. Now, the important thing about sewing is breathing. You have to practice just like anything else and you will get better. I remember when I had started sewing, my teacher had told me to just randomly sketch your designs and paste them onto metal sheets and just go for it. Just sew as much as you can, and that was the best way to learn, actually. I remember sewing tiny cactuses and a Christmas tree, and then I started getting into bigger pieces that I started practicing to sew. And then she taught me how to file the sewing lines. So that was fun too, an important skill. So yeah, I think your seating position is also very important. You need to be the right height, uh, you know, so you can move around when you're sawing. And you shouldn't have a lot of tension on your blade, on your saw blade. So, like, can you see it? So this, the blade, right? Okay, so this, you shouldn't have a lot of pressure going onto this when you're sewing. It should be very smooth when you're moving the blade up and down, and also the position. So, oh, by the way, these are the mushrooms. Am I gonna drop them? No. Okay. Alrighty, so this is going to be your sewing position, right? Like, you're gonna have it straight. Of course, you're gonna fix the blade. Gonna put the blade inside it. I'll show you. And then this is the motion. So it's the straight motion, and you move around whatever you wanna sew. And the other thing, what's important when you're sewing is the grip. So whatever you're holding needs to be gripped firmly. So for example, like the mushrooms over here, right? You have to hold it really firm so that in your left hand, or if you're, in the other hand, if you're a righty, sorry, a lefty, but you have to hold it really firm, and then with your right hand, so you don't have to move this too much when you're sewing. So you hold this really tight, so the grip is very important, and then it's easier for the saw blade to cut through. basically. So hopefully you'll get to see. And yeah, sewing is very meditative, honestly. So you can just put on some music. I would prefer to put on some music, but I would be lying if I said that I didn't sew with TV shows on. So I have sewed from, I mean, by watching from Vampire Diaries to the Wheel of Time to the Discovery of Witches. I mean, but then you break a lot of saw blades. That's on the downside. I have a regular saw that I bought from Amazon in California. I think it was like 20 bucks or something. So yeah, you don't, I mean, I know there are the new concepts, the red one, and then the what is that, the green lion thing, or whatever, that grand lion. The Apparently they are really good saw frames. I haven't really, so I've used the new concept one. It's nice ish. I mean, I don't see the need for it, honestly. So I have, I mean, this one works just great. I've been working with it for the last 3 years, 3.5 years. So yeah, I think it's really good. Oh yeah, and one more thing. So the whole point of me talking about the other saw frames, and this one that I bought from Amazon, was the fact that it's really cheap, and this, the replacement of the saw blades also is really cheap. Talking about saw blades, the numbers, I know, like, there's like, I mean, when I just started a few years ago, there was a big I used to read these discussions on the saw blade number that you use. So I just use two types. Right from the beginning, I use the big saw blade number. I think it's like one for the raw castings to cut off the sprues. So this is a sprue, right? So let's look at this. This is a ring that's come, is it focusing? Oh god. Okay, so this is the sprue. So I have to cut it right here. So the sprue's about like 2 mm, I think, right? So I'm gonna cut it with the biggest saw teeth, saw blade, so the blade that has the biggest teeth. I think that's number one. So I'm going to use that. And then I have a really fine number as well for thin metal sheets. So say, for example, if I'm, sewing a 0.5 or a 0.6 mm sheet, I will use that saw blade, which has smaller teeth, if that makes sense. How do you how do you put the saw blade on it? So I don't know if you can see. This front camera is really crappy. So the teeth have like the zigzag, right? So if the zigzag, the arrow is facing towards that side, you're going to put that side here on this, towards this end. So that arrow is going to face this side, the handle side, if that makes sense. Okay, I think it does, right? Okay, yeah. And you apply tension to it. So this is how you do it. You put it here and against your chest. One side is already in and tight. You put this in here, push it with your chest, and then screw it up really tight. You'll hear that. It's done. Okay, so we're gonna saw the sprue off. What I forgot to tell you is the wax is going to be your friend. So you need to lubricate your blades every now and then when you're sewing. It's extremely important. Okay, let's start sewing. So I'm trying to see where I can get the best grip. Take support of your bench pin. Shift your chair, make your angles right, and then go for it. Straight. And braid. And use the whole length of your blade. Don't just go in small motions. Use the whole length of your blade. So since I stopped, I'm gonna lubricate it again and then go for it. Silver is more easier, I feel, when you're sewing. Bronze and brass is a little more harder, I feel. I don't know the compositions by heart of the metals, so don't ding me on that, okay? And don't apply pressure, just very lightly. The blade will do your job, and the up and down motion will get the job done. Let's stop and see how much is done, because I'm curious. Can you see? So we're like almost there. Just a little bit left. Okay, let's lubricate again. This also allows your metal to cool down. It's a bit hot, not hot, but warm with all the sewing motion. So, okay, position, grip, position, don't move. It's so pokey, so I have to blunt it with the files. Okay, see? Did you see it bend? It's done. You can either go for it towards the end or just like remove your blade and then just like do this and it's done. So now you just file it and it's gonna be your pendant. I have to sew a jump ring. How cool is that, right? Sewing, pretty easy. Okay, we've started. Okay, this is going to be fun. So this is the file I was talking about, number 2. And I think it's like a half round. I think it's called, that's what it's called. I'm not sure. Anyway, so if you can see, there's a slight bump here. And then I'm going to smoothen this bit out as well. And that's it. So I'm going to go in a, hold this as balance. And then go around it. In a round motion. And trust your eyes, don't worry. If it slips, it's not a big deal. You don't want to go too much and shape it out of shape. So yeah, just be careful. Go slow. These files are pretty deadly. So now I'm gonna work on this bit. It's like a really tiny bit sticking out, but I'm gonna remove that as well. It's really tiny, these mushrooms, so look at the motion of the file. So you're always rounding it because the mushroom has that curve. Okay, pretty good. I think you can see it. Now I'm just gonna file this bit off so that it's not too sharp. And then just keep feeling it to see if there's any sharp bits around. So I turn it around. Constantly keep feeling it because it's going to go on the finger, right? It's going to be a ring, so you don't want anything pointing and, you know, hurting your skin when it's like on it. Oh, that's so cute. I'm gonna solder it to a band. I'm thinking from here and here. Yeah. Okay, it's like, put it away. So I'm gonna work on this and then we'll start sewing. Maybe this, remove the sprue from here. Cut it here. This is a pendant. Nice, no? Okay.